The first question I was thinking of was then in the PBL experience, is it okay for the teacher, for the educator, or for the facilitator to tell students there's going to be a failure, success, iteration process as part of this learning experience? Should we kind of give them that heads up, or should they experience that the frustrations that go along with that along the way? Is there a flip side to this?
I believe it's important for teachers to give students the heads up that they are going to fail because that's an important part of the process. And if some students are so afraid of failing that they're afraid to start. So I feel like if you give them that safety net of you are going to fail and it's okay because that's part of the process. If you don't fail, then maybe you're not doing it right. So maybe then it makes it okay for them to fail in some respects. Therefore, it gives them the confidence to actually move forward, knowing that they're not going to be judged. It's not going to be a bad grade for them. It's not going to be a bad mark. It's actually a sign of progress. And I think if we frame it that way, that failure is a part of success, I think it'll give students more confidence to move forward with whatever project they're working on and have the confidence that, okay, well, if I run up against the wall, then I have to just figure out how to go around it or go over it, or maybe do a little bit more research or approach it a different way. That way, it doesn't look like this big, massive wall in front of them that once you fail, that's it. I think that's the wrong approach.
So that actually leads me to, there's a part of the PBL process that talks about having students reflect upon what they've done, not just after the entire thing is done, but actually through the iterations, through each of the component pieces. And it sounds like that's actually a necessary part based on the fact that there's going to be times when students don't succeed at every point of the process, especially as an engineer in the engineering process. So do you see that happening a lot in the classroom? Giving students a time to reflect and them being able to do so?
Me personally, I usually use that reflection process while coaching students during the project. I think it's an essential part of the entire process of project-based learning because sometimes you move forward, just like in any type of scientific theory, you're moving forward with a couple of assumptions and you're building the basis of your project, the basis of a design based on some assumptions. And maybe they're well-researched assumptions, but sometimes you have to take a step back and reflect, well, did I ask the right questions? Did I frame it correctly where I'm actually solving the issue that I really want to solve? Am I getting data that makes sense? I know a lot of times when students come up with measurements or they're maybe measuring something physically, or if they're getting data back from a computer in terms of like Arduino or Raspberry Pi, a lot of them take that data for granted. They just say, oh, well, this is the data is good. But without reflection, without asking the question, well, is the data good? Am I making the right assumptions? And does this data fit into what I'm expecting? I think students will kind of fall flat and not know why they're failing at something, or maybe they're not just reaching their goal and maybe they're just coming just shy of their goal. But if they don't ask those questions, they won't know why. So reflection is a huge part of it, and it should be embedded into the project-based learning process.